in a shed, heads in a shed. We meant to write a jingle, but we haven't done it yet. Heads in a shed, heads in a shed. We'll be talking shit and we might invite some friends. Heads in a shed. The S is important. Not that important, honey.
It's pretty important. And we are back for another episode of Heads in a Shed.
In Melbourne.
In Melbourne.
Not in a shed at all.
We are not in a shed. We are in Melbourne in an Airbnb.
Joined by the one, the
one
only,
and
the
only.
beautiful, the talented,
The legend.
Mitch the Hands Cairns.
Thank you.
Bass player.
Extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
Welcome.
We're in your hood.
Welcome to Melbourne.
I know.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
This is a Melbourne shed.
Yeah. In an apartment.
It's exactly what I like in a shed.
It not being a shed.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it ticks all the boxes.
How different, because you're usually at our place.
I know.
In the shed.
I know.
And for once we've come to your neck of the woods and now we were like, Mitch, what do you think you want to come and talk to us on our podcast?
Of course.
Because we were thinking, Ads and I, going, we haven't actually introduced any of our band members at all to any of our fans. I know a lot of our fans have seen band
And
shows
know.
with you and know you and the boys. And we thought, everyone needs to get to know you guys.
I'm the guinea pig.
You're like the
You're
guinea
the
pig. You know what? Everyone's been the guinea pig on this
Oh,
show.
yeah.
I don't think we'll be getting a show in TV hosting anytime soon.
You wouldn't be surprised to hear that we don't know what we're doing. We're trying to channel our inner Ray Martin and things.
Ali
like that.
Langdon,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm doing a really shit job. But, you
Excellent.
know.
You've
it's
heard
just
us
been fun.
talk shit for years, so this is
Well, yeah, it's just the depth.
That's right, exactly.
How you been?
Oh, great. Yeah, really good.
We haven't seen you for a while. I mean, we haven't been doing any gigs much lately, but...
When did we do the last one? We did
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't it?
I keep getting a reminder because my bass's AirTag isn't working and it keeps telling me it's in Queensland.
Oh,
I'm like, What
really?
is going on with this?
Oh,
Is
still
it
in
broken?
Queensland.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Those ear tags are excellent. We got an ear tag
It's
on
not
our
in
dog.
Queensland, is it?
It's not. I checked the case yesterday. I thought, it's definitely in the case, I'm sure of it, but I had to open it and have a look. I'm like, it's
It
cool.
is there.
It's there. It's all right.
Oh,
That's
good.
good.
How long have you two have known each other the longest? Like, for how long, hun?
Well, it's
20 years, I
Yeah,
reckon.
well, I guess when you moved to Newcastle,
Yeah,
we would
which-
have met almost straight away.
I was 20,
Back in his
23
rooting
years ago.
heyday.
23, okay, it's
23
years.
years.
Yeah, because you
And-
come bustling into the music scene.
Yeah, I'd just finished a mechanic apprenticeship and moved to the Big Smoke, and Mitch was in pretty much every band. There was a real original scene on a Wednesday night at the Delaney. It was awesome. And whether we were playing or not, everyone would go there. And you were in, what, three of the
three of the four.
Yeah, and we were in the fourth one.
And we used to come and watch you.
Yeah. So and like Mitch played, well, they were all the I don't know, the heavyweights of Newcastle, just smashing it out. And I always felt very intimidated going to watch you guys because you were awesome back then.
Yeah, well, we thought it was great because this new band moved to town that was really good. Like, really good. And it was
They
like...
weren't shit.
Well, yeah, and all I wanted to do was watch bands on my nights off.
Yeah.
So I would come and watch you guys, which was cool.
And it fast forwards, I don't know how many. I knew you'd moved to Melbourne, so we sort of knew you were busy, kicking ass, recording albums. We'll get into all of that stuff you've done, producing records for Every Man and Their Dog and playing for all the big dogs and stuff. And then I happened to ring you one day and say, man, it was when I was about to go in to record album 3 maybe with Adam Eckersley Band.
Yeah.
I said, mate, I don't suppose you want to do some recording with us. And Mitch goes, mate, couldn't be better timing. I've just bought a new bass and this is going to make it a lot easier to explain that to my wife. So,
Because it was Valentine's Day. That's why I remember it was February, 14th?
oh,
And
that's
you
brilliant.
bought yourself this ridiculously awesome, expensive bass.
I just happened to walk into... I'm incredibly impulsive, although I'm trying to dial it back.
You are so impulsive. You are very impulsive.
And I happened to walk into my great mates at the Bass Centre in South Melbourne, and I just wandered in one day, and parked there was a heavily beaten to death, sunburst, 1975 Fender Jazz,
How could you pass that up?
maple block inlays, just all the things. And I went, I'll have that.
It's hard
Did
to.
you even ask the price first? You're just like, I'm having it.
I'll
I
have
don't
it.
care what it is.
I-
Yeah, well, you
like-
can't rock out with the flowers, can you? So, good call.
You
and
can't rock out with the flowers.
Super impulsively, I just gave him my credit card and didn't even ask. So it's cost like both arms and a leg. And I get back to the studio and the phone rings. I'm like, oh my God, Tony Macca's. I've known this guy for years.
Yeah.
And that was, perfect. You nailed it.
Yeah, I timed that really well. And so that started out, well, actually, we'd done a couple of gigs you'd played with us in
We had.
Melbourne before. We were talking about this earlier. There was
It was that Blue Zone then?
Yeah, it
Or
was.
Because you
Actually,
guys were
it
originally
was.
out of the Blue.
Out of the Blue
And it was-
Zone.
And I think I might have done Blue Zone's last gig almost.
Yeah, you
I think
might
it
have.
could have been the last gig,
Yeah,
which
actually-
is super
Yeah,
rare.
in Melbourne, there was a lot of glass.
Fed Square.
Fed Square.
I know this because
Transit bar.
there was no parking and you had the high ace van and we had just started dating, Ads and I, like literally like boyfriend and girlfriend. And I'd met your wife Brooke, and because you guys had to get all the gear out of the car, like put your hazards on, and couldn't park anywhere, I said, I'll go, you guys load in.
You were trying to be
set up. I
helpful,
was trying to be
impress me.
Well, hang on, I was being helpful.
What a chick.
What a I'll
chick,
marry that
eh?
one.
Anyway, so I take your high ace van and I was like, I'll go find a park. Now, this is the lesson I learnt this day, that I thought all cars and vans are under 2.2 metres when you go into an underground car park. Well, I learned very quickly they aren't. I got this high ace van in, squeezed it, scraped it, took off the
Very
eggs.
determined.
I got it in.
You didn't stop at the tip. Just no lube, just
I knew this was going to happen.
I honestly, I got it in there and I took off every sign and I was
my God.
I reckon I was like an inch off the water, your water.
Oh, yeah.
The water's bursting in the whole entire underground car park. And I remember calling Ads, hyperventilating, going, I'm in trouble. He's my boyfriend. We're not even, we haven't been together long. I've just completely ruined his van.
And all he's concerned about is he's got a fill-in bass player.
So I've called Ads and I've gone, I think I called you babe back then, not honey.
Oh, maybe.
And I was like, babe.
Early days.
Yeah, early
Babe.
days. It was the babe,
Jeez,
everyone calls them the babe. Babe. There's a bit of a problem. I got the car in.
Your stupid tall car.
Yeah, I did actually.
yeah.
What did I say? I was pretty upset because I was thinking I'm in big trouble here. And I was
Well,
like,
don't have a go at the car.
Your
It hasn't
stupid,
grown.
your
Gaslighting
stupid
the
car.
car.
Yeah.
I said I got it in. I don't know how to get it out. Anyway, Adam goes, stay there. I'll come and see. And you, thank God you came over. But then you made, I think at the time, you're like, you're going to have to drive it out. And I'm thinking, I don't know how to get
Well,
this
I
thing
got
out.
there and I was
It's
spun
jammed.
out because most people would
Spun
hit the
out.
first sign and then they'd stop and realise, you know what, bit of a whoopsie, I'll back out. But not my
No.
determined, stubborn wife. Hit the first sign and was like, you're fucking not stopping me from
The
parking.
resilience.
Oh, so I ran over
Yes.
and let some air out of the tyres first off.
That's right.
Like, I couldn't even let enough air out. And I'm jumping on the back tailgate trying to, lay it down a bit, and Brooke's in there going real slow. And I'm yelling out, rip it off like a fucking Band-Aid. We had to stop the traffic from coming into the car
That's
park.
that's why I kept going in, because there was someone
Oh, yeah.
up my butt when I was going in. So I was like, I've got to commit here and I've got to keep
So
going
is that
in.
officially the first time
That
you've
was
ever
the-
worked as a mechanic?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
only time.
One and only time.
I literally, and then I remember coming back to the gig and I finally then got introduced to you properly, but I was having this panic at going, oh my God. It
was a great gig.
That's
great
amazing.
gig, but that was my first.
In your defence, though, every car is under 2.2 metres
Except
when you
for-
take the roof off.
Oh,
I know.
these things
my
these
God.
things happen.
Well, I remember, Ad, you said to me, because again, we're just dating then, and you go, well, I've got insurance, so you'll have to pay the, what is it, the gap?
The excess.
The excess.
Did I?
And I said,
surely
no problem,
not.
mate.
It was probably because I had no money.
You didn't. We
And
didn't
you're
have
a
any money.
famous singer.
Oh, apparently.
Exactly.
Who can't drive a van and know heights. Well, I can tell you now, I learnt something that day. I've never driven a van or anything.
No,
I see
you
a
have
2
not.
point. But he's a smart ass.
I just find it funny that I found this out years later.
Really?
Like, yeah, when
Maybe I was embarrassed. I didn't
around
want
the
to say
time we
anything.
re-met, like, well, I found this out years later because I didn't know that happened
I
that
probably
night.
did. I was that traumatized. I would have been
Because
so
I remember going
embarrassed.
home and Brooke said to me, "How's the gig?" And I went, "Oh, it was great." I said, "Bloody Brooke McClymont got up and sang."
Did I sing at that
She's
gig?
going out with Adam.
Well, I must have really
and she
forgot
was
about
like,
what I did
"From
earlier in the day."
McClymonts."
Can sing, can't drive.
I had no idea you'd crashed the car.
But that was
night.
my first memory, and it was about
Oh,
a $7,500 like repair, and I remember having to pay $750 on your excess.
Lucky you didn't have to
Thanks.
fix,
100%.
like
well,
water fountains.
so
Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm
totally.
saying, and I did.
I think they
literally-
just wanted her to go.
Sorry, it wasn't
bet.
the exit. I took
bet.
off the entry.
Yeah.
You know how they got the entry, like they've got like a
Swinging
it's like
light thing.
Yeah, a swing light. It's gone.
Wow.
Like I took, and it was really, I really messed up the roof of the
There's
car.
there's a legendary spot in Melbourne that you discover when you live here, and it's called the Montague Street Bridge, and it's in like South Melbourne.
Is that how you
area.
say that, Montague?
Montague?
Montague,
I think that's
yeah.
what it is. Anyway, as long as if I'm saying it wrong, anyway.
I apologise.
But like trucks hit it all the time,
Right.
And it's a where the trams go over. They can't make it bigger. I don't know what the deal is,
Yeah,
but it's, often you'll get there and you'll see like a cement truck wedged in it. And they
Really?
can't get it out, and it's like a main thoroughfare into South
Oh,
Melbourne.
no.
And that's why there's so much traffic.
And so
banked
anybody
up.
who comes from basically anywhere, if you put it in your maps, it'll take you straight
To it.
there. Yeah, basically. And like, I don't know how many trucks or a bus hit it once, and it was like a serious, like people
wow.
got injured, and it was
think-
really bad. And that wasn't funny. But often,
That is not funny.
Often when you see like a concrete truck, like you would think anyone driving a concrete truck knows.
No,
how
see,
high they are.
and that's the
Yeah,
thing. I wasn't a
absolutely.
concrete truck driver.
No,
I was
and
not
you'd
a
never
van
driven
driver
the
at time.
van.
No.
I hadn't, and my good deed turned in, cost me a lot of money, but I got to meet you for the first time.
Yeah.
That's my story.
Yeah, that's
In a roundabout
so-
way.
So random.
And then I never wanted to drive that stupid van ever again. It just turned me right off it. I was like, fuck this van, I fucking hate this van. And I still pretty much whinge about any big car that I have to get into these days. So yeah. So that's how I
you
met
need a
Mitch.
car like mine.
Oh, yeah. Now listen, talk
It's in the foyer.
Going,
It's in the elevator.
Going back to the story when you said you're very impulsive.
my
Now, this is
God.
the reason why I'm going to bring this up is because just recently, we don't know if Mitch has had a midlife crisis or
Well,
again,
no,
it's
you
just
do
an
know I've had a
impulsive.
He's just turned into James Bond. I just went out in the street.
Tell them about
Not
what.
just that, he was jogging along with the car. He says, "Look how good he's looking."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Wow, Adam's looking great."
Great.
I'm a bit self-conscious now.
Tell our listeners and everyone watching what you've just bought
Well, I bought
impulsively.
It was a little impulsively, an MX-5 little sports car.
It's very cool.
It's okay. It's very cool, but wait, he's a bass player. It's got just 2 seats.
2 seats.
2 seats. He has an amp.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you fit your bass and your bass rig?
the kids?
And your kids in this impulsive MX car convertible.
Full disclosure, like my kids don't want to go anywhere with me. They're not
How'd you
interested.
manage that?
Yeah, well, I reckon we've got a family car. So what's the point of towing around spare seats all day?
Hey,
Okay,
it's hard to argue with that.
You blokes make up any excuse
Yeah.
to justify a purchase.
I fit my guitar in the front seat. It sits next to me,
So it's
where
like a
it should
passenger?
be, really, because
Okay.
it's
Your
safety
baby.
first. There's an airbag there.
It's your mistress.
I fit.
It's got an
I
airbag.
fit 4 jam donuts on the seat,
Oh, which you bought, by the
and
way.
my
we'll open and
coffee
see.
sits there. and that's it.
So you're in
And
your
the bass
office.
amp in the back. Did you have to
and I
get
drive as fast as I possibly can. I
You're
love it.
never late for a gig.
Never.
And is that why your hair's nice and slicked back today? Because you had the
Roof down.
Ah.
I got a bit of colour in my face.
How good.
It's a win-win. Yeah. But you do. I love your impulsive buys and
it was a bit
just
impulsive.
hearing the justification and all. It really is quite
I've got a
unbelievable.
justification for everything. I'm terrible. I'm terrible.
Oh my gosh.
It is nice though. We jump in the car.
it's awesome.
The kids
Beautiful.
stay at home because they
yeah.
go, "Well, I don't want to go
Fair
anywhere."
enough.
Like,
Who wants to hang out with the kids anyway?
you know, wife and I jump in the car and go for a cruise, and it's really nice. That's
great.
It's just me.
Majority
the
of time,
bass.
It's just you and the
It's
bass.
me and the guitar, and it's lovely. And what are you going to
Oh,
do?
bloody oath. I love it. So, we mentioned your career as a producer, not only a killer bass player, but can you tell us a little bit about what you were up to since we first met when we were like 23 years ago, you know, and then the move to Melbourne and how you got into producing and stuff? Because it's you know, music's playing in bands and that's one thing, but that's a whole different side that not many people know a lot about.
Yeah, I've dug pretty deeply into that. I guess, well, back when we knew each other, I was producing stuff and writing, and I've always been in original bands.
Yep.
From
It's
when
pretty amazing.
From when I first started, like one of my first bands was an original band when I was 16.
Yep.
You know, recording with the same guy we both would have recorded with back then.
Yep.
So, plus I always had the paid side to it as well. I always did gigs and cover bands as well. I had both.
Yes.
I had a foot in both.
'Cause
Very
you've got to pay your bills.
well, very heavily, because I always believed that you know, you hone your craft playing
Absolutely.
playing things that better people than you have already played
Yeah.
on. That was
and you learn how to play as a band
you
and
learn
all
how
that
to
sort of
play, and
shit.
you learn how to learn songs, which is really
have the
important.
crowd interaction,
Yeah.
work out the rowdy crowds
Yeah.
to the no crowds, like all of it.
I thought if you always stayed in one camp and not the other, that you're doing yourself a disservice. So
I agree.
I like
Yeah.
being in both. So I was always producing and writing and involved in creative things, and I had original bands, you know,
Yep.
when we were playing around the traps. And then as time went on, I was producing more things, and in Melbourne, I was still doing stuff. And actually, I remember when we did play together down here, your Hammond player at the time come and did a session at my home studio while you were here. It was a meal.
Emil, what a
He
champion.
brought the Hammond over.
Yes.
And he did
Wow.
a session for me
That's right.
back then.
We were
which is crazy.
towing Hammonds around for years.
You've been towing Hammonds for a
Hence the
long time.
back surgery.
Absolutely.
In my
Yeah,
20s.
that's that one, yeah. So yeah, I've always produced records, and I fell into, you know, I guess in Australia, you're either in Melbourne or in Sydney.
Yep.
If you want to pursue a career, because that's where the scene is, and Melbourne.
And lots of work too, like consistent work.
Yeah, and you just never know what you fall into. And Melbourne was the place for me. I just fell in love with Melbourne the first time I came here. Just the vibrancy and the.
Because you, like you said, originally Newcastle,
Yeah, I grew up in
there
Newcastle,
and then moved.
yeah.
So how long have you been down here for now?
2007, so
Wow.
like 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's flown.
Wengwalk's becoming the new
right,
creative hub of Australia.
It's
So
the new hub.
the
yeah.
new hub.
Okay.
Which you've said you're not getting your MX, you're never driving your MX down our
My
drive. Like,
MX-5 is not coming to the Wang. There'll be no Wang. with MX-5.
there'll be no wang happening on my MX.
I already look at the stone chips and the paint
Oh,
and go,
mate.
oh no, what am I going to do? It's like, oh, this is killing me. It's not going up there, no.
But you've played with some incredible people. Like you've been bass player like Leo Sayer.
Yeah,
Can
I
you
have.
list them like people so people would know, they'd probably be watching going, I've been to those shows, I didn't know you were playing in the band.
Yeah, I've been really lucky. I've had a 10-year stint with Leo. It's just gone
Wow.
over 10 years. I recorded one of his albums.
You got something coming up with him, don't you?
Yeah, we're doing the Monday
Monday
bash.
bash. I saw that the
Yeah,
other
which is
day.
exciting. So that's been really cool. We don't work much these days, but when we do, it's always really cool.
Yep.
I had a really long stint with Russell Morris for like 10 years.
Yes.
Yep.
What's his famous song? Come and see
The real thing, yeah. And produced 3 of his records, which
Wow.
which did really well.
Did you
for
win
us.
an ARIA for that?
Yeah, so all 3 albums.
ARIA Award winner. Should have mentioned that in the bloody intro.
All 3 albums were nominated for
Okay,
ARIAs,
yes.
and 2 of them won.
Wow.
And we had a gold and a platinum record. Actually,
When
another
album
one
sold.
just went gold as well last year,
Very
which
good.
is just flew under the radar. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, like
amazing.
10 years later, which is
That's
you go,
cool.
oh,
You
wow,
got there.
that sort of happened. We got there eventually.
Exactly.
So
I
that-
mean, when you think about it, the records these days, no one buys like CDs.
No one buys
different
records.
world.
So it is a different world.
The first record I produced for him, we caught the back end of record sales, and
is great.
and actually had record sales of platinum.
So you were
which
one.
is frightening, like
You were one of 100 that made money from records being a producer.
unbelievable. Like it's a bit of a blur now, but it was at the time it was just incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, that's really impressive, and that's
and then
an amazing achievement.
by the third record, people didn't buy any anymore.
what I mean.
It was weird. It won an ARIA, and it was a beautiful album, but just people weren't buying it.
No, and they still aren't.
Yeah, no, it's
So
It just-
weird, eh?
it's just streaming.
My albums get one play a year in Iceland
Well, don't worry,
or
we'll
something.
just let you know our podcast too. This is not going to do anything more for your career either because no one's really watching. So,
No one's watching.
so look, but we are just we doing
If
it
you
anyway.
are one of the few watching, thank
Thank
you. We
you.
appreciate
We love
it.
you guys.
Champions.
And,
I've
but-
watched a couple.
oh, good.
Oh,
Oh, you're part of our 300 streamers
actually,
then. Thanks.
I listened in the car.
oh, yeah.
nice.
So you didn't watch.
I watched some of it and
You went, I
thought,
can't
oh,
watch
this
them
is
anymore.
wild.
Not much
I got a
structure.
text. I got a text from you going.
Probably in the middle of it. Yeah.
It's going. Did you just say what I thought you
We
said?
got to
when I
a
first-
3 minutes 30 and you mentioned the word gunt.
You dropped, yeah. You just dropped, and you dropped a few things
Didn't swear.
consecutively.
Did
It's like-
I?
Yeah, it was
Did it
epic,
feel like
yeah.
you were just sitting next to me,
I
like
just
in the
felt
car?
like I was in the
a
van,
gig.
like you'd just driven the van into a
Underground.
Oh God, I love the banter we all have in the car. That's the one thing good about touring.
Oh, it's
with all
fun.
of us.
I think the funniest thing about musicians is the sport, like where we
You
just
can't be sensitive.
yeah, and it's not really complaining. It's just making light of
Everything.
the bullshit.
100%.
We kind of just really amuse ourselves with it.
Oh, you
Like,
got to.
you know,
Oh God, we've had some great
Because if you put
times
it on
the road.
paper, look, you're not going to get any sleep for these 4 days. Probably have to
totally.
lift some heavy shit.
Shit.
yeah.
You've
Climb
got
up
to travel
heaps
a
of stairs,
lot. You've got to
travel
be
a lot.
sitting in a car. Like really, when you're right,
And
it
if you're
doesn't.
lucky, you'll lose money.
Like it really doesn't sound that appealing on paper, but
It doesn't.
It takes a special kind of person. Like musos will understand this watching it. You're either invested and you love it, and you've got to.
It's
want
the
for
best.
It is
It's
the
still
best
the
because
best.
I'm so used to it, and then there's other people that go, I couldn't do what we do.
I still just can't say no. Like,
I'm
I
the
struggle like
same.
it, you know.
I love the different side of music too. Like it's ever changed. Like one day you're in the studio and you're like, cool, studio
Totally.
recording. Then the next day, go, oh, I've got a gig out in Melbourne. Like
I know. I
and
did
then you
one
go,
last
cool.
night. Hey, can you drive an hour out in the hills and you got to learn 30 songs you've never heard before? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But that's how. But you are
Just try and
professional, like-
stop me.
But you are an incredible bass player. Like I get so much joy. I'm always standing on. It's you and me. I'm on your side. I'm in your space line. And I do sometimes feel when we're performing live, I get in your space line, and I do. There's probably 90% out of the 100 that I turn to jam with you, and this is you with your eyes closed. I'm like, no, I'll catch him next time when he's got his. But I get so much joy, and I get the energy from you. You just always perform at like 150%, which is
yeah.
really impressive. Like you're captivating to watch.
I try. Yeah.
No, I think it just comes natural. Like you just love it.
There's definitely a point when I'm playing, and the guys I played with last night who I hadn't met before, so it was a walk in,
Of course, so there's a different scenario again.
totally new people, and in the break, one of the guys was like, "Man, your game face, like
It is. That's what it
the
is. It's
sign."
game
I
face.
said, I don't really know what happens. I sort of my eyes roll
And
back
your
in my
head-
head,
and your head
I
goes
start
back.
dribbling, and if I'm not careful, I've nearly fallen over when I'm like really in it, and you get a bit lightheaded, and I've nearly toppled a few
Yeah,
times.
it's just it really is impressive. And
Lost, completely lost in it.
and your notes that you pick, the way you play, it really is like we constantly comment, don't we,
shit,
hon?
yeah.
Like we're always going far out. Mitch is just
We're
such an impressive bass
so
player.
lucky. You and Benny together are a pretty special.
Yeah, our engine room.
rhythm section.
It's a
mighty.
very special thing that happens when we play together.
It is. And we always say, like you mentioned before, like being in the music industry for 20 years to, have played original music with all sorts of different people. Like that's what you majority done. Like it's actually really impressive to pay your bills, to do, like we constantly are saying that too, going, wow, all we do is music in some form, whether it's, like we said, recording or touring or, doing these crazy talking shit podcasts or whatever it's got to do. But we always often look around and go, all this is through music.
Absolutely.
And it's and like it's not the most easiest thing. So it's been
It's
an
a
amazing
slog, and
thing
you got to
to
work
watch.
at it. And
Yep.
I'm always telling it's like students and young kids when they ask you, and
Because you teach as well.
I do a little
Yep.
bit, a little bit, and sort of mentoring and things like that. It's like you got to work on your craft. You got to
Constantly.
it's just you're always at it, and you have to find the time, and you got to find ways to not make it. When you're learning an instrument and people tell you got to practice, you got to practice. I was a terrible, student for any of that sort of
but
stuff.
your practice would have been what things that you loved listening to and
And
the
I
bands.
always worked on things, but you got to sort of make practice not. You can't look at it as practice. It's got to be.
No, it's got to be
It's got to
enjoyable.
be something
Yes.
you can work on. Yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell.
You got to love it too. Like I
I've-
love
Would
it,
you now, like, because the industry's totally changed, we often talk about this, it feels like a different industry than what inspired us to get into music.
Yeah.
The music still feels the same to play and rock, but as a job, I think I'd still pursue it. I don't know, but
You 100% would.
Yeah.
Like between when I watched you, especially you four boys with Dan and Benny, and you two, it's like you boys get lost. Like I can walk in a room and I go, you know what, these boys are giving, like if we're rehearsing or whatever, like you guys just get lost in this, like it's called music jabber or whatever. Like it's a language that you got only you
Music
four
jabber.
know. Well, there
I
you go.
like that.
Here's MJ.
It's like lightning in a jar.
It is. It's
there's something that
amazing.
happens with that band. As a sideman, I come into bands and filling in and things, and there's magic that happens in, like Leo Sayer's band.
Yep.
And Russell's band at its peak was just amazing in its own way. And the Black Sorrows is always like,
played with the Black
oh
Sorrows.
my God,
yeah.
that
band.
machine when it starts and it's just like explodes. But I just remember our first hit when I just said, yeah, look, how about I just come along and have a play, and if it works for you, it works. If it doesn't, I'd love to have a hang. I was dying to see Benny, who I've known really since I was a little kid.
yeah.
And was that like
And-
10 years ago? That was like longer.
It was 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've been, holy heck.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Bloody oath.
we've
It is
had-
a little while. Yeah, but I remember our first hit, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I know it was
it
mighty.
This is something
It was
special.
so mighty.
And everyone was looking at me, and I'm looking at you guys, thinking, okay, well, and I think we must have played for an hour non-stop.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We don't even know what happened, but it was really special. And you get, like when you know how to make something work in a band, you know how to lock in and make stuff like that happen. It always feels pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But when you just get that lightning in a jar,
It is so true.
Every
every
time.
time
I still feel
it
that way.
happens every single time,
Yeah.
even on the worst,
Yes.
shittiest gig,
Yeah.
after the worst drive, and everything's gone pear-shaped.
But we still
It's still just first note
Yeah.
happens every single time. It's really, really amazing.
It is one of those things, I guess, when all of us, we've been working together for so long now that we can all, like you said, if there's been a bad gig or sound, whatever the situation where we're like, oh, but we all come off going, we know we're great. We know it's not our worst.
You go back
into
Yeah.
what were you saying? Like the memory of, I don't know.
Muscle memory
Muscle
sort of
memory,
thing.
yes. 100% where you go, okay. Let's
And
not
you
beat
know
ourselves
that,
up too
like
bad.
I know Mitch is over there smashing it. I know
Yes.
Benny is. I know Dan is, and even if you can't hear it,
Yes.
you know everyone's still on it.
I've got
Yeah.
the best seat in the house. I literally shut my eyes and just listen to everybody else.
Oh,
And whatever happens, is usually just a reaction to
You
listening to
literally
your
have-
vocal or something.
Nothing in your wedge either, because I'm there.
I don't, no.
He doesn't even have me. He's like,
I
get
don't,
Brooke out of my
'cause
wedge, because I'm like
you're-
screaming at you.
Your wedge
Face
is
meltingly loud.
your wedge is smashing everyone.
Melting the
My
paint.
face.
You may melt the paint off my guitar. No, I don't
do.
need it because I can hear
You're-
everybody,
yes.
and that's the space I like to be in. I have my vocal, and I usually have my vocal pretty loud, but I'm not a super strong singer, so I need a bit of
Hey,
help.
we've been doing harmonies. We get so
Right?
good.
I love it, and considering we've never actually worked on them.
we just go, that'll do.
And
You're
every
going
time
good.
I go up for a harmony, I shit myself a little bit because I know I'm singing next to Brooke McClellan.
Oh, stop.
I know you can hear everything
No.
I'm doing, and
But it's good because
it's
we're no-
incredibly intimidating.
No, stop.
Try being the husband
No,
that
stop.
decides
Oh,
to
yes,
start a duo
they're
with
just
us.
being-
I just
When
like,
we
No.
first started, obviously Brooke had spent years with the sisters, and they could
Oh,
just
my God.
sing a harmony like that. And I remember
Yeah.
when we started to work together, Brooke's like, "You just do that harmony." I'm
I know,
like,
I was a little
for
bit
starters, I'm
impatient
not a
with
fucking
you.
harmony singer. And second, I'm not your sisters. Like,
Yeah.
just
'Cause
ease
that'd be
up.
weird.
That'd be weird. Jeez. No dick.
it's frightening. I was listening to you guys the other night on Side of Stage, and you were singing. I think it was
One of the new ones?
It was one of the new ones.
Souls.
It was
Yeah.
Souls on Show, and I was standing there with the boys, and we're in Queensland, so I was like. Having
a break.
I'm like,
Yeah,
having half a
getting
heart
old,
attack, you know,
getting
just
old.
to push that Palmer through my arteries. And it was just jaw-dropping, you guys singing together.
Oh, you're very sweet, Mitch.
It was really, really quite frightening just how good you guys sound at the
thanks.
moment.
That's
Obviously,
very
you're doing
sweet
a
of
lot
you.
of it, but
Yeah.
it's pretty heavy.
No, we still enjoy, like you're saying,
it's
we
fun.
still enjoy what we do. And I think, the touring side and the actual performance side of things, that's the joy. And that's, to me, I don't like to say it's the easy part. I don't know how you boys feel about it, but that's the part where all the other shit comes together,
Oh,
like the touring, the
100%.
traveling, the long nights,
Yeah.
the long days, the no sleep, all of that combined. That's the part that
That's
you
the
go,
payoff.
that is the payoff. And it's all the other stuff that you deal with. It's like, okay, if you can get through all of that and still have a smiling face and get to that stage, that's the best
yeah.
part.
And you're playing your own music too. I
was
that's-
going to say
yes.
that.
I love the fact we don't do any.
We do no covers,
No
do
covers.
we? We really try to. I know with festivals, that's one thing we've noticed. A lot of artists, and this is not having a dig at any artist, by the way, but we've noticed that a lot of artists, and I don't know whether they do it for the crowd's purpose of playing, like a lot of covers
Yeah.
in their set, and they're an original. And most of our peers play their original songs,
Yeah.
which is what majority of the time I know festivals book them for, is to play their own songs. So I know we've commented a lot going, oh man, we're hearing so many of these great, talented artists that play their own music. They're putting in, like, say, a cover, like a set of, say 5 or 6 covers, and I'm like, we sit there going, dude,
You
got
work your
so
whole
many-"
career
Yes, it's
to get to a point where you can play your original music to a big crowd. And that's what confuses me. It's like, you got on the stage.
Yeah.
Now you're not doing
Now
it.
give it, yes, and so it's like, again, and there's no, again, not
everyone
having
runs their show different.
They do, but I know from our point of view, we've always said educating your crowd. Hopefully, you got your fans there anyway. But if there's people that haven't heard you before, it's like, let's just give them. They'll either love us or they won't, regardless, right?
Absolutely.
So music is subjective.
Oh, yeah.
There's
I reckon
no
you can
right
just-
or wrong.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, there's shit and there's good. I mean, but we can't. That's.
Unless you roll it in glitter and
That's true.
polish it up.
But it's, again, you're either going to grab them or you're not. And yes, I do know it's one of those things where it's like, I want the crowds to love me. Hence why maybe
Yeah,
that's
we'll
why
play your
people
song.
put in a cover.
And there is an instant thing that happens.
Yes.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you, again, I think working, there is something that's really satisfying and I guess backing ourselves
Absolutely.
of playing.
Part of the
Your own
time
music.
too, like, is if you've
It's a
only
great
got an hour, is trying to figure out what original do you drop
True.
to put a cover in.
I know.
Because we've got so,
I enjoy
There's a
playing
lot
our
now.
music.
There's a lot, like we have a lot now, and which is a great thing because putting together a set list for any festival, it's better to have more choice than not. But yeah, but all of them, we're kind of like, I know we all sit together every year, once a year, when we're all getting ready for the tour for the year, and so what are we going to do?
Oh, I love it. In the
It's-
last 12, probably more than 12 months, there's been maybe 4 songs that I've been lucky to co-write
Yes,
with
you
you guys.
have.
That's right.
Yes.
And we're playing them, and every time we get to, I'm like, man, this is so great.
so
like,
good.
You get that little bit of extra buzz from playing something.
Lost If I Lost
Lost
You is
You.
one of my favourites to play.
I love
Yeah.
playing. I love
Written
singing
Mitch.
live. Don't give up on me yet. The
Don't
one that
Give
we
Up on
three
Me, that's
wrote.
another
Remember
favourite.
that started off as a ballad at our place.
it
On the,
was
you were
yeah.
playing piano.
Piano.
And then we've just cut. I think we end up getting. Well, I did. I ended up probably getting a little bit tipsy at the end of the night. I said, "Let's just." I was kind of in. Let's up this song.
Well, we're all still off the wagon then, weren't
true.
we?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Were you? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've been. Hey, Mitch has been like sober for 2 years. I don't know if you want to talk about
Have,
that, but I
yeah.
think that's pretty incredible.
awesome.
Not that you
Mighty.
had a problem. You just were like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that right? Like,
Like, yeah.
here's our mate from AA. His name's
A
Mitch.
problem
you know,
ain't
you
a
know.
problem until it's a
It's a
problem.
Yeah.
Hey, we should probably do that one today. Should we do that song today? Rock Bottom. I know. Did you write that with us? That one?
No, that was Tom Busby.
Did we write that about him?
Oh,
No, I'm joking.
That was the
That's
beginning of the end.
no, we did write that with Tom Busby.
Yeah,
Another great
yeah.
songwriter.
He is
He's a
brilliant.
champion.
Yeah, we should get him on the podcast too.
Yeah, we should, absolutely.
He's a bit of a legend.
But it's exciting because we're now in the process of writing more new stuff. I don't know, by the time this airs, we may have already recorded it. I don't
yeah,
know.
but we'll have written. We need to write more songs. But
This process
all
is
sorts of
fun,
stuff.
putting new shit together. And
It is,
yeah.
absolutely.
no, so but
Sound
no,
checks are becoming cool, you know, well, they're always cool, but
Yeah.
Playing
you're
the
always
new
thinking,
songs.
and you're always thinking, oh, is that going to become something down the track? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That thing we did at Queensland the other week, sort of funky thing that you and Benny kicked off. And
anything they play is incredible.
that was...
Oh, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, there's always
no,
something.
no,
There's
no,
always
no.
something brewing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before you go, can I open up that bag of donuts?
absolutely.
So
Yeah,
tell
this
me-
is from my local Italian deli fresh produce place.
Ooh. This is not a sponsored. by
No,
the
it
way.
isn't.
No,
Absolutely
but
not. No,
Can I?
it's not.
Are you going to open it?
No, you should rip it open. It's
Just like the van.
go for
Just like rip the top off.
top
Rip the top off, and I'm good at that. Oh
Toledo.
my goodness.
There-
This.
I think jam donuts is a bit of a Melbourne thing, and I
Is it?
and I reckon you'll smash that pretty hard.
Mate, I'm not the most graceful eater.
Oh, you're gonna eat it now.
You're gonna eat it now
This
while
is gonna
we're
give you some space.
Do you need a
Is
plate?
it, does it squirt?
Well, it depends. It depends which angle you come from. It's
Oh no!
good donut.
sometimes there's no results, and other times it's it unleashes.
Did they forget to put this one in?
There
You look
go.
like you've been giving a snowman a blowjob.
You ready, Alex? Wow. Well, on that note, I hope you've enjoyed this episode
That was
with
good.
Mitch Cairns,
Hey,
everyone.
hands,
Thank you.
kids.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. Just, if you want to get in touch with Mitch,
Great producer,
Mick,
great
what's
writer.
your website?
My website is www.mitchcairns.com.
There it is,
And you
folks.
can find
him out.
me in some of my music and all sorts of random
And in
stuff.
our band as well.
Yep,
and
you'll
these guys
see
and-
him on the road with us this year.
Absolutely.
This is real good.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, a problem ain't a problem until it's a problem. Then you know that sucker's been sneaking up on you for years. Yeah, it always felt right, living in the moment. Oh, a young man's too naive to think about the future. Charge his head on till he runs clean into a wall. Well, stay in the fight till it's all over. Oh, for so long now I've been out here on this highway, 'cause it seemed like the easiest way to try to find some fun. It's the best way to make a living, but it's easier said than done. Have I hit rock bottom, digging myself a hole, when we're spinning back into control. Oh, I don't dance, but I've tangled with the devil. And I hate to admit it, lately I've been letting him lead me into the dark. Yeah, refuses to leave. Oh, I don't know if I'm up or down. on the sideways. Sunrise used to be worth waking up to see. Now the early mornings is waking up for me. Oh, for so long now I've been out here on this highway, 'cause it seemed like the easiest way to try to find some fun. It's the best way to make a living, but it's easier said than done. Have I hit rock bottom, digging myself a hole, or am I spinning back into control? Oh, if I could change the past here, wouldn't change a minute. The world keeps turning, I keep spinning with it. When I'm spinning out of control till I'm too far gone, I'll still be out here riding down this highway, always on the lookout for some fun. Oh, for so long now I've been out here on this highway, 'cause it seems like the easiest way to try to find some fun. It's the best way to make a living, but it's easier said than done. Have I hit rock bottom, digging myself a hole? Have I hit rock bottom, digging myself a hole, or am I spinning back into control?